Everyone wants luxury golf living in Austin, but almost no one knows how to choose the right club that matches their lifestyle. And this can be a six-figure mistake. Let's fix that. Today, I'm breaking down the top 5 elite communities in the Austin area, and I'm even including the new one at Travis Club that kind of changes the whole landscape of the things. Stick with me because these differences are not what most buyers think. Hi, I'm Nicole Cooper, UT Golf alum and real estate pro. I've been helping people buy and sell for over 15 years, especially in golf communities. You see, I don't just know the market in the area, I've walked every single one of these fairways, so I know them intimately. If you're looking for location and lifestyle, you're in the right spot. Let's get started on these 5 communities right now. Before we dive into each club's personality and lifestyle, let's look at where they are on the map so you can get an idea. That will rule out half of them for you anyway. So all these red dots here are our golf clubs in town. This one is Austin Country Club right here. Then we're going to have Barton Creek Country Club here. Then we hop out to Spanish Oaks Golf Club in Bee Cave, and down here over actually in Driftwood, we go to Driftwood Golf Club. And lastly, we hop out here to the new Travis Club. It is over here on the lake, on the actual main deep water portion of the lake. So it's our only golf course that will be on Lake Travis on the deep portion that has holes actually going over the water in Lake Travis. So that's gonna be something super special. In fact, it's a par 3 signature hole. We'll see it in just a minute. So let's start with Austin Country Club. Let's talk about kind of what the lifestyle and personality you will feel there. It's old school charm, prestige, character. Ben Crenshaw and Tom Kite, Harvey Pinnock was the teacher there for years and years and years. It's on Lake Austin. It is under the Pennybacker Bridge, which is just one of, here it is, you can see here they have the Dell Match Play. Used to have the Dell Match Play, that has since been retired and moved elsewhere, but the Pennybacker Bridge there in the background is what the Austin Country Club kind of skyline view from the course is known for. Here's an overview looking back. You're actually kind of over by the Pennybacker Bridge looking down onto the club. So some of the challenges about Austin Country Club are that, well, you can't get in. It's the waiting list to get in for the membership is quite long. You need to know a few people to get you in on the list. Now, that's not a problem. You can get some recommendations from other members as long as you get the right friendly members to give you the recommendation. But the problem is there's just a lot of people waiting. And it's kind of a mysterious waiting list. Barton Creek, that we'll talk about next, has a true, so they say, first in, first out waiting list. You can't jump the line. Austin Country Club, it's kind of like who you know, you might get picked sooner. Some people that just apply will get picked before some people that have maybe been on the waiting list for 5 or 6 years. So it's quite mysterious at Austin Country Club. And that's kind of one of the drawbacks that it just kind of prevents you from being a member there in the short run. As far as the style of golf at Austin Country Club, it's a Pete Dye design, so you're going to have tee shots where you have to be precise off the tee. You're not going to be hitting driver all the time. You have a couple of blind shots, and not just because you're in the middle of the fairway means you're going to have a good lie. Pete Dye liked to make uneven lies, so even if you were in the middle of the fairway, you don't necessarily get rewarded. So he's probably not my favorite architect that ever lived. However, Austin Country Club is still one of my all-time favorites to play because it's just so pretty. Take a look at this view here. This is a par 5. You're looking down towards the Pennybacker Bridge. The grass is always perfectly green, always in perfect condition. The greens are always super lightning fast. And as far as the holes go, as you can see in this portion here, there's kind of like 9 and 9. And what I mean by that is half of them, and it depends if you watch the Dell Match Play on TV or if you play it in person, because they swap the 9s for the TV presentation purposes. But anyway, if you're just playing it today, the front 9 is on the water. Here, this is the view of the holes that are on the water. And then the back 9, they're part kind of in the ravines and going through more of like cliff edges and over water, not water like the lake, but like little creeks and streams running through it. So here's an example here. This is actually hole 18. We're looking back out up to the fairway, and this area down here is all a big ravine. So you have to hit over that to get up to the green. And then you can see the tee box back here is a bit elevated. You're hitting down into this low spot there. So there are different types of hazards based on if you're on the front nine or the back nine. Overall, Austin Country Club is one of the most valued clubs in town. Everyone wants to play there, and you just simply can't play unless you know someone. So, or if you become a member one day. But the great course condition all the time, winter, summer, spring, and fall, the grass is always perfect. And the pro shop, the tennis courts, the clubhouse, and all that, just, it has all this history and all these kind of like trophies and mantles, and all. The club itself has like prestigious dining and these areas in the club that just, you can tell, just ooze with history. There's talk that they're going to redo the actual clubhouse portion of it and get it down closer to the water so they could actually have a water view. I think it's been voted on. By the way, this is a club owned membership, so the members make the decisions. One of only two in town. That's Great Hills Country Club and Austin Country Club. So let's go over check out Barton Creek. We're heading to Barton Creek. Barton Creek is different. It's very different than the rest. Why? Because it has 4 golf courses. We have Barton Creek Fazio Foothills, Fazio Canyons, the Crenshaw Core, and then the one out at Lakeside. The one at Lakeside is in Spicewood, so we're gonna leave that one out for the most part today because it's about 30 minutes further out of town than the actual Barton Creek original course. This picture here, you can see in the background, there's the Omni Resort there. So Barton Creek is not only large in the sense that it has 4 golf clubs, it's also large in the sense that there's a hotel right in the middle of it. So perhaps Barton Creek, you're gonna feel a little less known, a little less like a member because there's just so many people there. They have a hard time remembering the guests, or sorry, the members. The members are the ones that need to be remembered. And it's just gotten so big with 4 golf courses that it's a challenge. And then on top of that, you have this hotel here, and that brings in a lot of guests every weekend. And there's a lot of business conferences there too, so it's weekend and weekdays. This is kind of an overview out the back. This is hole 18 coming up Foothills course. It's a par 5, and it's elevated green. Sometimes you can get home in 2, woo, but it's a long way. You gotta crush a drive and then get uphill and carry all this kind of like face of rock there. It doesn't look very severe in this picture, but trust me, when the money's on the last hole, it's not easy to hit it in 2. But if you do, then you're putting for eagle, and there you go. There's another view of 18 there. You can get a little bit more sense of that ravine in front of the green. Then we hop over to Barton Creek Canyons. Gorgeous course. I actually think it's my favorite of the 4. Just played a tournament there not too long ago. Canyons is a little bit more placement off the tee than the Foothills is. The Foothills was built first, then Crenshaw Core, then the Lakeside, and now Canyons is the last one. So the main difference in kind of the personality between the original Foothills and the newest Canyons is the design of the houses around it. On the Canyons, they're set back, so it's more private. You feel more like you're on the golf course and less in a master plan community. And the Foothills, it's a little bit, the houses are a little bit closer to the actual like tee boxes and fairways and things. So at Canyons, they're still actually building in Canyons. You can find some new construction in there, whereas on the Foothills side, that's been there since like '86. So the community started building back then, so you don't see much new construction on the Foothills side. The Canyons and the Foothills would be the most similar style of golf. Kind of out in front of you, what you see is what you get. You got to hit good shots off the tee, and then there are some reachable par 5s like I already mentioned. The Crenshaw Core is going to differ a lot in the greens. So it's going to have a different type of grass on the greens, and then Ben Crenshaw, if you didn't know, he was one of the best putters there ever was. So he designed this course with these enormous putting greens. So just because you're on the green in regulation does not mean you're going to make par on the Crenshaw Core course. And I think this picture here can put it in perspective for you. We've got 4 people out there on the green, and the green dwarfs the people on it. That's how big the greens over on the Crenshaw Core side are. Here's one more angle of the Crenshaw Core course. So in a nutshell, The Fazio foothills and the canyons are going to have a little bit more undulation, a little bit more elevation between tees and greens and things like that. The Crenshaw is going to be just a tiny bit more level. I mean, they're all in the same area, so they all have the same topography, but it's just a little bit more level of a golf course and larger greens. So if Barton Creek sounds like it may be a little bit too large for you as far as the membership goes, then this next one might be the one for you. We're gonna go and talk about Spanish Oaks. Spanish Oaks is the smallest membership of the clubs we're covering today. And Spanish Oaks is just a golf club. It's not a country club. So you don't get the racket sports, you don't get the fitness and other things with the Spanish Oaks Golf Club. Yes, they're in the neighborhood, they're in the community, but they're separate they're not part of the golf membership because this is a golf club, not a country club. Beautiful 18 holes. It's set in the hill country right there in Bee Cave. So they tried to leave it as much, like without moving much dirt as possible. So they got an Audubon Society credentials for it. It is definitely the most tranquil golf environment. Now, Travis Club isn't open yet, so we'll have to compare that when they get open because it's even a little bit further from town and tucked back on the lake, but we'll get there in just a minute. So as far as the golf at Spanish Oaks goes, well, it's a great challenge. The greens are lightning fast. Between Austin Country Club and Spanish Oaks, I think I've putted off the green on Spanish Oaks more than once, and I don't think I've ever putted it off the green at Austin Country Club, if that tells you anything. They can get them lightning fast at either one, but I seem to have more challenge at Spanish Oaks, so I'm going with that's the more difficult in better condition. You decide. Spanish Oaks has little creeks and streams meandering throughout, lots of bunkers you can get in off the tee and up by the green. Their par threes are pretty healthy, some of them near water and over water, but the par fives, for the most part, they are actually, I'd say 50-50. You can get to 50% of them in two, and the other 50% you can't, or you gotta hit it like a ton. As you can see here, it's a beautiful course that meanders through the Texas Hill Country. So Spanish Oaks is definitely going to have the most intimate membership vibe. No member walks in the door there where the staff doesn't know their name. It's a quaint, beautiful, like small, close-knit community. So here's where we were down here in Bee Cave at Spanish Oaks, and we come out just a little bit further over here on the lake to Travis Club. Newest club in town. You may have heard of this and you may have heard of Laura Loma. They're both kind of neck and neck. Laura Loma is already open. It's all the way out in Spicewood. We're not covering that today, but this one here is Travis Club, and this is their website here, but it shows you all of the things that they are going to have. We're going to go into the amenities later and compare them all, but the golf is going to be amazing. 18 holes on Lake Travis. And here is a picture of their signature hole. It's a par 3, you hit over the water. This course is kind of carved into the hillside. The homes are stacked down the hillside. Everything has a view. We'll get into that a little bit later too. But as you can see here, this one is actually on the water. And by the water, we mean Lake Travis water. Yes, Austin Country Club is on Lake Austin, but this is the only club that will be on Lake Travis. Lakeside is close, you can see the lake, but this one actually has this view right here where you're going over the lake, and it's the deep water portion, meaning that there will always be water in it. And we kind of need to take a minute to talk about that in Lake Travis because it is a lake that fluctuates with the weather. When we have a drought, the lake goes way down. When we have a lot of rain, the lake fills up. So if you're not on a deep water portion of the lake, your boat or your boat dock could be completely out of water when the tides recede. So just keep that in mind if you're ever buying property that is waterfront on Lake Travis. You need to know how far the water recedes when we don't have rain. If you're on Lake Austin, not a worry in the world. It's a constant level lake. So because Travis Club isn't open yet, I can't really give you my opinion. I will play it when it opens, but I'm just gonna go through their renderings. This is hole number 15, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like a little bit. You can see the terrain out there, beautiful rolling hill country. This is hole number 2 here. Tee box is back here. A nice par 4 going down towards the water. This is the view from the green looking back on number 2. And this is that signature hole. This is where the tee box back here, you're gonna hit over the water to that green. And then they have some shorter tee boxes over here where you don't have to go over the water. Nice overview here where you can see number 2, 3, 4, and 5 So if you're like me, we're all very curious about what Travis Club is going to be like to play. I can't wait until it's ready. It should be online spring of 2026, so any day now. Our fifth and final, last but not least, is Driftwood. It's a little bit further southwest of town, in the town of Driftwood. I don't know if it's actually a town, it's so small, but it is a discovery property. And what is a discovery property? Well, they own properties all over the globe, known for like white glove service. And this one is what we have here in Driftwood. Beautiful clubhouse. They are building another one in a different spot because when you're talking about luxury, this is the epitome of luxury. There's a little bit of rolling terrain, but it's nothing like Barton Creek or what Travis Club is going to be, or even Spanish Oaks. Pretty flat in Driftwood. So this tree here, this is your hazard in Driftwood. They have these beautiful live oak trees all around the golf course. Yes, they have some water and, you know, some hazards to hit around as well, as you can see here on this par 3, but for the most part, it's those doggone trees that get in your way at Driftwood. Now, one thing I forgot to mention about Spanish Oaks is their comfort stations. Spanish Oaks has the best comfort stations I've ever seen until I played Driftwood. Look at this. This is a comfort station. It's on the golf course in the middle of the holes. Like you go in, you're playing golf. It's not at the turn. It's like on between 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 or 7 and 8 or whatever it is. I don't remember. This is a comfort station and this is just one part of it. Over here, there's smoking meat. There's actually cooked brisket and barbecue you can have. And then there's a whole other room full of charcuterie and tuna and cheese and snacks and trail mix, anything you can imagine, they'll fix you up at the Driftwood Club. So it is a club that's just known to go above and beyond in all things service. They would really want the members to do exactly what they want to do. Like you don't even have to wear shoes. You can bring your dog. Don't have to make a tee time. You just show up. So the vibe at Driftwood is very member friendly. Like the member gets exactly what the member wants. And it's super cool to see it. Now we're going to talk about what you get and how much it costs for what you get. So we're gonna start here with Austin Country Club. What you get with your membership there is the 18 holes of golf and then the full country club, like most of them. So you're going to have the tennis courts, you're going to have the pickleball courts, you're gonna have the fitness room, the dining, and all of this at the moment, it costs $100,000 initiation fee, plus a long list of referrals and recommendations and waiting in line. One thing Austin Country Club does have that the others don't is a Lake Austin access. They actually have a marina right there on the property, so that's pretty cool. Barton Creek Country Club, what do you get? Well, you get 4 courses. Initiation is $175,000 for all 4 courses. If you want to get in now and you don't want to wait, there is a waiting list to get in for the full amount. A couple of years, they say, maybe 2 or 3. So you can be a full member out at Spicewood for $40,000, Spicewood meaning the Lakeside Barton Creek Club. And then you can have social membership in at the Fazio Foothills Canyons and Crenshaw Core while you're waiting for your number to come up to be a full member. I think you get 6 rounds per year on those courses in addition to full membership out at Spicewood Lakeside. And then when your number comes up, that $40,000 will go towards your $175,000 membership. The only other workaround there is that you could buy a house where the person that's moving has a membership and they don't want to keep their membership, so they can sell you their membership with the house, and then you can jump the line. That's the only way you can jump the line at Barton Creek. Now, note that Barton Creek and Austin Country Club, you do not have to own in the community or in the neighborhood to be a member there. Same as Spanish Oaks. For the Travis Club and Driftwood, you have to own property inside the community in order to be a member. It can be just a lot, but you have to own some property, and then you have to pay your initiation fee, and we'll get to those when we get to them. They are huge. They are the biggest. So they have this beautiful Mocara spa. They have multiple swimming pools. They have racket sports. They have the works when it comes to the extra amenities because they are just so big. Here's their tennis facility, and then They have an enormous fitness room with Peloton bikes, lap pools indoor, a running track indoor, and then of course they have yoga and all the classes. So Barton Creek at this moment has the most amenities. I think Travis Club will supersede them when they're fully up and running. Driftwood running a close second right now, and we'll get to that and have a winery. Oh, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But Barton Creek definitely has the full range of everything country club. So it's not just the golf, it's all the other bells and perks that go along with it. And that at full membership is $175,000. So up next, Spanish Oaks. We've already talked about it. It's only golf, no racket sports, no nothing else. You do get that wonderful dining area, but Spanish Oaks is $200,000 initiation fee. And at the moment, I do not believe they have a waiting list. They're getting close, but you can get in for Spanish Oaks if you just pay the money. Don't have to own property inside the community. Now, Travis Club. Let's talk Travis Club. When Travis Club is built out, they are going to have the most amenities. They are going to have a marina. They have trails. They have spa, wellness, fishing. They have these little, like the old covert house where they can have parties. They have mountain biking. I mean, that goes with the trails as well, but it's going to be a really full stop shop. Everything you need there, you can get: fitness, wellness, happy hours, and the works for all the kids. They're gonna have like a spot where you can watch the stars at night, and then that full marina will be the big differentiator from any other club in town. No other club has a full marina on the water where you can rent the boats, rent the paddle boards and kayaks and all those things. So it will be a full service shop out there at Travis Club. So Travis Club, when you buy a property or purchase a home site, they're including an $80,000 membership in that. And then if you want the golf membership on top of that, it's an additional $150,000. So basically, when you buy a lot in Travis Club, in order to play the golf, you're gonna have another $150,000 initiation on top of that. Let's talk Driftwood. Probably my favorite experience because they actually have a vineyard on the property. They have a 70-acre vineyard. They've got 800 acres of a ranch out there, and so they have all the trails and the fishing and biking. See, I told you they could play barefooted, and they take their dogs on the course too. But in addition to the dining and spa and wellness and all those things, the vineyard is what sets these guys apart from any of the other clubs in town. And in Driftwood, to be part of all those amenities, it's a $200,000 initiation fee. You do have to be invited by a member, and you do have to own property inside the community in addition to that $200,000 initiation fee. So let's talk house styles in each of these neighborhoods. I'm not going to show you individual examples because it's so varied, but I'm going to give you the general vibe of what you can expect to find. In Austin Country Club, you're going to have probably the most variety because the course was built in 1984. So you're going to have homes built from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. And yes, they still build new because they can scrape some old ones and put something brand new back, or they have found ways to put these beautiful homes up on the side of the hill where really couldn't build before, and now they're doing it. So Austin Country Club could have your traditional brick style or the limestone, even a bit of stucco mixed throughout, but basically it could be a renovated home from the 80s, it could be a home from the 90s that hasn't been renovated. I mean, there are just so many different styles of what you're going to get in Austin Country Club just because there's so many different decades of homes that were built there. Overall, around Austin Country Club, you're not going to be in a gated community. The club itself, where the golf course is in a gated area, and there are other gated areas nearby, but there isn't one solid gated area that covers the entire Austin Country Club. So that's kind of a unique non-gated situation on one of the most exclusive clubs in the world. So that leads us over to Barton Creek. We're just going to talk about the areas in town. We have basically two different, let's call them generations of homes, because the Fazio Foothills was built in the 80s, and then we have the Canyons that was built in the early 2000s. So the homes on the original side are going to be older. They're going to have that that Mediterranean Tuscan vibe for the most part. And then we have the homes in the Amara side, which is the canyon side, that are new construction, some of them still. So you're gonna have that Texas hill country design, you're gonna have some modern design, and you're gonna have some farmhouse styles over on that side. As far as the gated communities in Barton Creek, the sections there are lots of pockets of gated sections, but it's not all one big gated section, and that's because that Omni Resort is in the middle of the old section. So to get to the original Foothills and Crenshaw course, you don't go through a gate. To get through the canyons, you go through a gate. And then as far as the homes go, some are gated, some are not gated. So it just depends. Most of them are little pockets of gated communities around, and therefore you're going to have an HOA association for where your home is, and then you're going to have your membership fee that's in addition to that. Spanish Oak style homes. Think large luxury estates inside a gated community, 24/7 manned security gate, totally private, totally luxurious inside those gates. The home styles in there are going to be, think modern Texas farmhouse style. So brown metal roofs, sleek designs, spread out wide, bigger lots. I mean, it's a really pretty style in Spanish Oaks. And for the most part, you're going to have either the limestone rock on the outside or the stucco. Travis Club and Driftwood both are going to have more new construction. Travis Club is all new construction. You pick your lot, you pick your design, and go build it. But Driftwood's a bit older, just a few years older, so there are some resales happening. There are some other options, especially you can have a villa and a garden home and things like that in both of them. Travis Club, however, is built in the hill country on this terrain. I think there's just under 400 feet of elevation within the community. So I am told that there is not one house that doesn't have a panoramic view. So if you're here on this hill and this house down here, they only can build so high so that they don't restrict the view of the house above them. So that's a pretty cool neighborhood design about Travis Club, where everyone gets to have a panoramic view. No one ever can build in front and block someone's view from behind. Driftwood's a little flatter, so there's not as many panoramic views out there, but think big, large, luxury estates. Spanish Oaks, Travis Club, and Driftwood are very similar in the size and that feel of luxury, the similar style homes in there, and just that large presence of wealth. It just feels really special, and you won't be disappointed when you go through the gates. Driftwood, Travis Club, also gated all the way around. So to summarize for your lifestyle, Austin Country Club, prestige seekers, legacy families, golf purists. Barton Creek, resort lovers, multi-course players, and amenities first families. Spanish Oaks, quiet luxury. Golf only types and nature lovers. Travis Club is going to be new construction, golf plus lake living. And if you're a modern architecture fan, this might be your spot. Driftwood is where ranch meets luxury buyers. It's community focused and lifestyle first golfers. So which one of these styles fits you? If you want to see a home in the community in person, all you have to do is give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom, because we are always here to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. So until next time, be kind to yourself and others. Can't wait to see you around town.